GETS is grid enhancing technologies, which is supposed to allow for
There you
more
go.
more
I'm
capacity on the grid. Let's double
I'm
down on
learning I'm learning something, Sam.
yeah. Let's double down on that a little bit. So with the GETS technology, we have tons of new age companies and new startups that are developing these solutions. How is the utility thinking about supporting, or how is the regulator thinking about supporting the utilities in integrating this gets into the system? Or is it something that we need to figure out a new rate structure for? And how should some of the engineers at the startups developing this technology be thinking about engaging with the utility and regulators in implementing these technologies on their infrastructure?
Yeah, one, I think they've been very good at trying to keep us informed. There've been a lot of people talking to us about what these technologies are. That's helpful so you can get a picture of what it is that they're doing and what it means. And so having the utilities come to us and explain that has been helpful. And then I think the key for us as regulators is to create an environment where they feel comfortable that they can spend that capital.
Mm.
That's the regulatory compact. Are we creating enough comfort for them to know that if they try some things that may not pan out,
Or
we can still get some recovery. And so we've created some pilot projects. We've been kind of big on pilot projects in Minnesota just to say their utilities, give it a try. If it doesn't work, let us just be honest with us about it and we'll understand it. I mean, Minnesota tried to burn turkey poop and it didn't work out. Okay. And we spent a lot of money trying to burn it and it didn't work out. But we made sure XL got their rate recovery for the cost of those systems. And then we helped the community out that was the partner community that was building, an infrastructure around that. All of a sudden now when they don't have the jobs and that infrastructure, how can we help them out? And so that having a good transition plan, working with those communities and just being okay to try a few things. You know, uh, and explain it to us so we know what's going on and we can deal with it. Thank you. And my next work for
So this is goes to the point of regulatory innovation. It looks like Minnesota has been at the forefront of this, creating regulatory sandboxes to do pilot demonstrations and also creating a mechanism that if it doesn't work out, the utilities and some of the investors are sort of kind of made whole, including the communities. So how would you go about thinking of developing some of the sandboxes from scratch, and what are the mechanisms you prioritize when you're working with the utility to think about some of the solutions? So also make sure that you're thinking about the right solutions, and if it doesn't work, have some type of validation that the utility gave it its best, but it didn't work. Instead of utility just doing it haphazardly and it not
right.
working.
I think the key for us, it doesn't emanate from us, the commission. It does somewhat. Commission usually takes what's brought to us and we digest it. There was just like that handed out to me. You get these briefs that staff put together and explain to you, and you make decisions on that. It's hard in that kind of gerbil wheel of constantly week by week going through decision after decisions to
Mm.
be innovative from the commission structure. What the commission needs to do is encourage stakeholders, and Minnesota has been blessed with very active stakeholder community who are engaged with our utilities, and our utilities learn that we pay attention to our stakeholder members, and they know to bring them into having a discussion. So when they wanna have some innovation around, say, GETS or something like that, they're gonna bring in the fresh energies, they're gonna bring in CUB, they're gonna bring in some of the other organizations that work around this space and say, "Help us out." And then they might hire a Great Plains to be a collaborator, so it's not the commission's doing, it's the private sector. Great Plains has been doing a really good job at a lot of different things in our area where they just put together stakeholder groups and have those discussions so they can put a package that comes to us and then we have some feeling that it's been vetted. The department is not the only one looking at it. It's been looked at by other experts. And we have a good active university systems. Morris, University of Minnesota Morris is doing some innovative stuff. St. Thomas has a great group of folks around microgrids going on. The University of Minnesota has some folks that are working on stuff in this space, and so they also bring the academic side of it in. Doesn't mean we always agree with them, and we have to tweak it and deal with it, but it comes to us already kind of vetted. They put the ingredients together. They told us how to cook it, and now it's just our job as a line cook to do it right. We may disagree on occasion and say, no, we should have a little bit more of this, that, or a little more of that. But we look to those experts to help us out. And so I think if any state wants to make this happen, is really developing good stakeholder infrastructure is critical.